What's happening, y'all? I'm back to the resident supervillain, Mr. J. Watson, and I'm here with my review for Season 4, Episode 7 of Black Lightning on the CW. And if you have not seen this yet, come on back, because there will be spoilers. I recorded this whole damn review, and the mic didn't catch none of it. So I watched the video, and it was just me talking, lips moving, not a damn bit of sound. So I was like, ain't that a bitch? Here we go again. But for those who know, this was an exciting episode for me because this is the backdoor pilot to the PainKiller series. And we've seen backdoor pilots throughout the entire Arrowverse in the CW shows. It was how we got a backdoor pilot to The Flash, a backdoor pilot to Legends of Tomorrow. I don't think we got a backdoor pilot to Supergirl or Batwoman per se. So I'm good nonetheless. I'm good, and you know, all those backdoor pilots have led to something. Now, whether the show's runs have been one thing or another, that's a whole different story. But I want to talk about what's here now, and I was super excited for my bro, my friend, Jordan Calloway. So as I'll always tell everybody, I went in a little bit biased because, again, this is a personal friend. So, of course, I want to see my peoples win. But also, as a I guess, a professional bias, I can't have one because if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I got to tell y'all one way or another. But just like I would want my peoples telling me something bad, and some of them will, because they'll be like, nigga, you did Chirac. And I was like, yeah, but I got paid for Chirac, and Spike Lee gave me my first opportunity, major one. And that's how I got to do a lot of things since then. And so I'm cool with it, and I'm grateful for it. There was so much in this. Now, I don't know if I missed it, and if I did, please forgive me. Maybe somebody in the comments will remind me. But did they ever, when PainKiller was first introduced as the PainKiller program, did he have the deep voice, the deep type voice, and making the differentiation between him and Khalil? Was there ever the thing? Like, because I don't think it was. And again, it was dope to see it because it added a level of gravity to it. Now, look. Going to Akashic Valley, we knew this was kind of as a setup from the previous episode of Black Lightning when Anissa and Grace was like, that's where they're going to go on their vacation, their honeymoon, because they needed to. They go there, meet Amani or something. They meet the program that's like, welcome to the Black Velvet Hotel. Go in the bar, the photographer dude, taking pictures, flashing in their face. Grace gets snatched up. You see PainKiller watching. Now, I say that part quickly, but in the beginning, we hear a voiceover, a meditative voiceover, and that's Khalil talking. And more so, we find out about the duality that he's dealing with internally, mentally, and the duality of him being the calm guy, reading a book and just sitting here like, yeah, okay, you need to calm your black ass down. Yeah, I got it. I get it. And then you have PainKiller like, yo, I'm gonna kill appearances. I'm gonna finish what I gotta do. I'm gonna kill people. And so to see that it plays a lot, and I think that, and you know, meeting the supporting characters, meeting Alexander Hodges Filkey, you know, from as Andrew from Insecure, cousin Donald, who I love what his character is because there's so many layers to him, and we only seen a little bit. You find out he's a former Marine who suffered from PTSD. And when he was trying to talk to the shrinks, they just gave him meds, and then he tried to overdose. But because he's a bigger dude, it didn't do anything. And Khalil found him passed out and saved his life. You know, you basically have Filkey, who was a dude from the ASA, who helped to install the PainKiller program. And when, you know, after the ASA was disbanded and everything, he reached out to him, and because nobody would give him a job or touch him with a 10-foot pole, and he brought him in. And at one point, you know, because Filkey's a great tech dude, and it's like, yo, I can help you with all this stuff. But at one point, because, you know, Khalil's being kind of persistent, of course, he wants to get rid of PainKiller. But Filkey says, yo, I'm not your Asian tech savior. So back off a bit, which I was grateful for hearing the line like that. Again, Anissa and Grace play the role perfectly to fit in, to set up seeing PainKiller and what will lead through, again, seeing Grace get kidnapped and Anissa trying to stop them and having the run-in with PainKiller who takes over and battles her and beats her and poisons her. And when she wakes up, she's pissed. And then cousin Donald has to tell her like, yo, that wasn't Khalil, that was PainKiller. We've been trying to stop him, but he keep popping up. You know what I'm saying? He like a herpes visit. You don't know when he gonna show up, but he makes it. But then Filkey even talks about how it being around Anissa, he senses it. And so the kill order is still there, and he's trying to get rid of it. And at some point, you know, they're talking. You watch a lot of conversations, which is the dual conversation of Khalil and PainKiller. And PainKiller is telling Khalil, like, yo, if you die, I die. Like, I kind of don't want that. You know, so you're just trying to get rid of me in life. And a lot of that is dope because you're seeing you're seeing the control of the battle play out. You even have a discussion where I think it's Khalil tells Painkiller, no, Painkiller tells Khalil, there's no light without shadow, no sun without moon. And tells me about your ghetto pedigree anger. I was like, well, Jesus, that's how we felt about it. But one of the biggest things about this, I was excited to see, and I saw some of the training footage and behind the scenes, is the action in which Jordan was going to bring to this. Now, again, I know what we've seen in Black Lightning. I know we've seen what Painkiller did then. We see what Lightning, Thunder, and even Black Lightning have done. And, we know that the actors do so much and the stunt actors have to come in. And there's a whole union for it, and you want them to work, and I get it. I get it. But Jordan wanted to show he could do some of this. He could step his game up, take him serious as an action star. And I think he definitely does. There's a scene where he's trying to break into a building to not only find Grace, but get this tech. And these security guards run up, and, Painkiller's armed to the teeth. Goes in, lays his sword down, says, look, I'm looking for Maya. And then one dude was like, hey, man, you come with the security guard. I was like, hey, bro, you come in here with this big-ass butcher knife. You talking. Next thing you know, a few shots fire off. Khalil ducks and dodge. But at some point, you see that man drop down, Khalil, and goes, you up. And Painkiller takes over and just murders everyone. But it's not just a smooth, swift battle, if you will. You see him having to struggle. There's two women who give him the business until he just turns it back on. And again, that's what I love about this. You're showing that he's not all encompassing, all powerful. He can be beat, but he finds a way to defeat people again. But the biggest battle he has to deal with is the battle in here. You know what I'm saying? And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. I guess that's a thing. You see that at one point, the safe house building is about to be self-destruct because Maya sets to self-destruct and she uses Katie. Now, I bring up Katie because one of the biggest lines throughout this, and I don't know if I just said it earlier, is there's no such thing as coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. And it consistently happens. There's no such thing as coincidence that Anissa and Grace picked Akashic Valley for their honeymoon while Khalil is there. There's no such thing that Khalil is there and has his first interaction with Maya, who we find out later at the end of the episode is the daughter of Agent Odell, legendary actor Bill Duke. And so she even Odell says, this is such a coincidence. And Maya says, there's no such thing as coincidence. So all of these things are happening for a reason. Maybe there is a bigger puppet master at work. We don't know yet. I mean, you could say Odell is the bigger puppet master, but again, it might be a puppet master above him. I don't know. We don't know. One of the things also, throughout this series that I love is that Black women are always put on the forefront and in strong roles and not subservient or damsel in distress roles. They're not that. There are times where they need to be uplifted, just like the men. But overall, these shows, Black Lightning and Painkiller, are not doing that. You have, if I go back, you have Lynn Stewart, who's a badass in her own right. You got Anissa and Jen, but then you had Lady Eve running shit, played by the great Jill Scott. But then you take it over, give it to Destiny, who just handled Lala. Now you got Maya handling it, and again, it works. There's no such thing as coincidence that they are Black women that are strong and they can beat the break dog shit out the dudes, not even just physically, but mentally. And that's what it always counts to. After everything happens, oh yeah, there's one point after they have Grace kidnapped, right? And she keeps trying to change, but she wakes up and changes in the wild and starts whooping security guards' ass. This is the part when the building is about to blow up. And Painkiller's in there and runs to the Grace. She was like, the Painkiller. She was like, you Painkiller. He was like, yeah, I am. I was supposed to save you, so you can go that way. I got something to finish. And she's like, well, all right, and just leave. She didn't even try to convince him to come along because, again, that track record that he has. But it was at that point where you got Cousin Donald and you got Filky trying to tell Painkiller, yo, you got to get out of here. And then you see the duality happen face to face where Khalil's in an elevator and Painkiller's outside. And Painkiller's like, yo, I'm just tired, bro. I'm hurting. I'm tired. I'm tired of my thoughts and everything. And Khalil telling them, listen, I will get this out for the both of us. I will figure this out. And you have to trust me. And so now we see the bond. And again, we kind of see where this is going to play out going forward, where Khalil will be in control for the most part and Painkiller will take over when needed. But then you'll have those moments where Painkiller will take over and he will, be running the shots and not supposed to. You get to the end at the bar, back at the bar where you have Anissa and Khalil, and she tells him that Jin talks about him a lot, but she doesn't mention that there's a new Jin now, a new looking Jin. Doesn't mention that. But then Khalil says, do not tell her I'm here because, again, PainKiller, that kill lord is still active, and I don't need her around. I'm trying to murder all this other stuff. It's just not beautiful. But I think overall, again, I said this in the beginning, I went in biased because of my peoples, because of Jordan being my boy. And I wanted Jordan to win, and I think he does. I really do. I like the way the story tells. There's so much to be told. It's a futuristic, how do I give it? So when you first see Akashic Valley, it has that Hong Kong Seoul type vibe. Or if you just watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it has that Madripoor type vibe. But then, you're looking at everything, and we like these cities where they look so technologically advanced, but there's still this lower life going on. Shouts out to Fantastic Negrito, who got hella songs played on this episode. Plastic Hamburgers was one. In the Pines, another. Shouts out to him getting that black music, and you see him actually playing in the club, getting just good exposure. And so, again, going back to the show, I feel like this is something that's going to be big for PainKiller. I can't wait to see how the series expands. But again, how this still plays into the remainder of the Black Lightning series. Like I said, it's sad it's ending at this season, but now we know the characters have a place to live going forward, if need be. There's still openings in other places, like Jefferson can sporadically pop up in the Flash, because that's there. That connection and that bond's there. So we'll see how it goes. But I want to know what your thoughts are down below. Now, keep it civil, keep your shit calm, keep it cool. Y'all already know. We're going to disagree possibly, we might agree, but don't start going all off the deep end and shit, and I got to remove you, and I don't feel like doing all that, man. I want y'all to just talk it up and chop it up down there. Also, while you're here, if you're brand new to the channel, thank you, and please hit that subscribe button. I'm boosting these numbers up, so thank y'all, because I try to be one of the realest niggas on the internet. Everybody is nerds and everybody does their thing, and it's respect to everybody that's doing, especially the black people, the brothers and sisters doing it, primarily them, because we got to, I'm rooting for everybody black. But it's you got to be different and unique. And one of the things for me is I'm going to always be a real nigga about mine. I'm going to crack a few jokes and talk some shit, and then some, and it might just happen, it might not. But I want you to ride along with me. Please do that. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. Check out the Mad Titan podcast, everywhere you get your podcast from. I get you caught up on all the things happening in the Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. It is Barbershop Talk for Nerds. Come on in the convo. Check out Blurs in the Hood every Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. on the East Coast. Myself, Winston A. Marshall. We talk about the world of pop culture, entertainment, news, sports, politics, and a whole lot more from a blurred perspective, and we are unapologetically black. If you want to support, if you want to show your love, please join the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington, man. I talk a lot of wrestling in the Patreon, a lot of things I don't do here on there. We're going to start having watch-alongs. There's the one-on-one with the Supervillain. There's so much, so go ahead and join, show some love. Excuse me, and some support, all right? I'll holler at y'all next week. Oh, yeah, for Blurs in the Hood, it's on YouTube and Twitch. YouTube.com/BLERDS, the letter N, THEHOOD. Blurs in the Hood, because when I started, I was like, we're going to be extra niggerish. We're going to be Blurs in the with an A. And then I was like, we kind of want to bark it, and they was not going to market that one. So anyways, I'll holler at y'all next week. Take care. I'm out. Bye.